This is the story of St. Margaret of Scotland. The church remembers her during the green and growing time of the church year, after Pentecost. I wonder why we remember Margaret. Let's see. Margaret of Scotland was born in Hungary, but she moved to England when she was 12. She lived happily in England until William the Conqueror took the country. William did not want anyone from the family of the old kings in the palace, so Margaret fled to Scotland when she was 22. The King of Scotland was named Malcolm. He understood about leaving home because he had to flee for his life when his own father, King Duncan, had been murdered by Macbeth. He welcomed the beautiful princess and fell in love with her. They were married 3 years later. They had 8 children together, and Margaret was a wonderful mother. She turned the cold and grim palace into a warm and happy home. She hung bright tapestries over the stones of the palace walls and added many beautiful books to the library. Margaret never managed to teach Malcolm how to read, but she did persuade him that books were important. Even though the king could not read the Bible, people saw him kiss it to show his respect. Margaret cared deeply about her religion. In the palace there was a place for her to pray. Soon other people in the palace began to join her in prayers, and she made sure that the servants had time to come and pray too. She also helped the clergy in the church to do their job more beautifully. She rebuilt the monastery on the island of Iona and brought the Benedictine monks to Scotland. She built them a home at Dunfermline Abbey. Every day, she opened the doors of the palace to everyone, especially the poor. When she traveled around Scotland, she also gave money to the poor. She gave away so much money that Malcolm grew concerned. But over time, he knew that this was the right thing to do. The king trusted her so much that he asked her questions about how to rule Scotland. Then a great war broke out between Scotland and England. Malcolm led the Scottish army against the English, but was defeated. He was killed, and so was their oldest son. Margaret was ill at this time. When a younger son came back from the battle, she asked how everyone was. He said that they were fine, but she knew the truth. 4 days later, she prayed to God, "Let me be free." That was the day of her death, and she was buried at Dunfermline Abbey. We remember Margaret because she cared for her own children and the people of her country for God. Now, I wonder, what parts of Margaret's story you like the best? I wonder what part of the story is the most important. I wonder what part of the story is about you, or where you might be in the story. I wonder if we could leave out any part of the story and still have all the story we need. Now, let me show you this booklet and how you might work with it yourself. Here is the map. Here is the flag of the United Kingdom, of which Scotland is a part. Here is the timeline when Margaret lived, and here is the story of Margaret herself. Now, let me show you how to put the story away. Here is the tapestry that reminds us that Margaret made the palace a beautiful place to live. Here is Dunfermline Abbey, that reminds us how much Margaret loved to pray and how she gave the Benedictine monks a home there. Here are some coins that remind us that Margaret loved to help the poor of Scotland. And here's the booklet that helps us remember all about Margaret. Finally, here is the green underlay, because we remember Margaret during the green and growing season of the year. Now, I wonder, what would you like to do to remember St. Margaret of Scotland today?